Hello folks, today I'm going to be separating the worms from the castings. I do this through a trommel. I'm setting up the trommel now. I found this big sled at a sporting goods store. It's supposed to carry big game, I guess. It's come in very handy. It fits perfectly under my trommel. It was a little pricey though, but it's very sturdy. So then I set up bins to catch larger material at the end. Yeah, place it just right or it's going to spill out. Then I'm going to start with the compost I've already got started in the shed. That's already been aged for a month or so at this point. Usually more than a month, but at least a month. So I just scoop it into the hopper, turn the trommel around, and it sifts the compost. Now this is going to be done on a 1/4 inch screen because what I'm doing here is separating the worms from the finished material so that I get a nice finished product. Sometimes it needs a little adjusting. Oh yeah, and then I gotta put a guard on the side or it spills out the side. I'll fix that on my next design. You know, I've tried hooking drills to this thing and a motor. It's either just too expensive or doesn't work well. So here I am, I gotta check out make sure that the screen's doing its job. It doesn't have to be ran back through. Sometimes I run it through twice, making sure that the material under the trommel is pretty much worm free and the material in the bin at the end has the large chunks and has all the worms in it. Sometimes I'll pick the worms out of the one under the trommel and put it back into the larger chunk bin. Alright, so now I'm going to be taking the compost out of the pile and sifting that, which then gets put into trays, mortar trays, and stacked in the shed. These are probably the best bins I've found for this sort of thing. I got them at Rural King, very sturdy. I'll have to make a comment about the brand name. Yeah, sometimes the large chunks get caught in there. You gotta take them out. So then when the large chunk bin's full, it goes back into the compost pile. And you just keep sifting and sifting. Smack it every once in a while, get all that stuff through. It might be a good idea to wear gloves. I do most of the time. Oh, this is the other great thing about this sled. I just back it up into the bin and dump it right in like that. I've since cut that rope off so I don't keep tripping on it. Oh yeah, so I should have actually screened that first one with a larger screen size. So right now I'm going to change the screen out into the larger one. So I do 1/2 inch screen from the compost pile. Put the 1/2 inch screen into mortar trays, put them in the shed, age those for a while, and then run it through the 1/4 inch screen at the end. Sometimes I'll just separate the worms from the 1/2 inch sifted material and then use it. But if I'm going to be selling it, I have to make it look good with the 1/4 inch. 1/2 inch will work just as well. I think you waste a lot just doing 1/4 inch. But it looks better, so that's what customers want. But for my own use, I wouldn't worry about sifting at all, really. I'd just dump it straight in to the garden or whatever. Maybe pick some worms up. Yeah, it needs a bit of adjusting, but there we go. Yeah, and that bin's full. It goes back into the compost pile. Now, of course, these compost piles are staged, so the one on the left there that I'm picking out of is the ones that is done. It's been going for at least 3 months. And then I just keep going down the line. There's 3 of them at this point, which is a minimum. Well, I have plans for this trommel, by the way, if anyone's interested. Yeah, sucker gets heavy. Yeah, it's good not to get it too full or you won't be able to pick it up. Especially, I think these are 40-gallon bins. And at 5 pounds a gallon, we're talking, what, 200 pounds? So, yeah, it's good not to fill it all the way up. I've also got a couple smaller bins that helps keep from overfilling. So I'm pretty much done with this pile now, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to cover it with cardboard. I got more cardboard stash back there in a pile. It's pretty much in a compost bin, just like the pallet bins there. Stacked on top of each other. Then if I need wet cardboard for compost, I can take it off the top, and if I need dry cardboard to shred, then... Oh yeah, it's also a good thing not to lay the cardboard like this in between layers because you're going to have a hard time digging it out later. I'm just putting this over the top just to keep the moisture in and keep riffraff and flies out. Birds. Damn birds. Alright, well that's pretty much the end of it. Just keep going like that for hours on end, sifting material. Well, I usually get through a normal sized compost pile in about an hour, so it's not really too bad. And then that all sits for a month and then gets trommelled again to get the worms out. Well, thanks for watching. Please subscribe and like.